So, our next story is a catastrophe or just what happens when the internet is as dominant as it is. Let's talk about it right now. Okay, so apparently EA is not going to be showing up at E3 this year, which we've had some other companies do that as well. We have Nintendo still focusing on E3, but very much focusing on its own directs. So literally every month is E3, really, for Nintendo. And Sony had mentioned that it wasn't going to be doing E3 last year. And it does seem like, from the looks of it, it might also be doing that this year as well. It would be weird if they didn't do it last year and do it this year. Although it could just be because they maybe didn't have things to announce for E3 last year. But still, Sony. No, I was gonna say PS3. Sony not being at E3 last year was something that did seem pretty big to people, and now, which is, by the way, so crazy to me that E3 is already coming up in June. I'm kind of sitting around and I'm like, but we just had the E3. I just did the. For me, it feels like I just did the Matt Rants on E3, talking about it just last year. It was, or not, yeah, well, it wasn't E3 necessarily, but talking about Sony not being at E3, it was just nuts. Like, I was just like, whoa. I sit back and I was like, that was like, I just remember it like extremely vividly. So it's nuts that we're here again and we're talking about E3 again. But apparently, Electronic Arts mentioned that it will be foregoing its standard press conference at the event. Instead, E3 will be focused on EA Play, its annual showcase that will kick off on Friday, June 7th, a couple of days before E3 opens its doors on June 11th. So it's basically saying, hey, we're kind of going to be there, you know? Like, it's kind of like mommy and daddy got divorced, but like mommy and or daddy, whomever, is just whatever part of that that sadness is now living like a few blocks away. Like, oh no, you can come see dad, you know, on the weekends. Although in this case it isn't the weekends, it's the weekday for some reason. But no, yeah, so it's interesting. It's just showing you how the power of social media, the power of just the internet, and also us, right? YouTubers, content creators, people talking about this stuff, how much we, and I don't want to say like I'm powerful, like I'm wielding such great power, because I don't want to feel like that, but it definitely does show you that word of mouth, right? Which is something that always has been a thing in business, but now it's becoming so much more real with how fast that word of mouth can travel. Faster, I would argue, than ever before. It shows you that EA having to, or rather, EA having to pay that money to E3 to showcase. They're like, wait, we could not do that, and people will still talk about it within minutes, within seconds. We'll say one good or bad, it's EA, so maybe bad thing, and just everyone will be talking about it. So why do you need E3? Now, I know in a way it feels good. If you don't want to, it's been around for so long, you don't want to dump it necessarily, and I do get that, maybe from a, because I'm 26 years old. It's like, for me, it feels like E3's been around for forever, and some people can say that in a good way and a bad way, but it feels like it's a staple, with gaming news every year. But the thing is that you just have people talking about gaming news now, not only every day, but literally every minute, every hour, every second. The ability for me to just go live and just talk to you guys about this. I do it on a weekly basis, but heck, I could be doing this on a daily basis with how much news is out. It's just intense, and other people are as well. I mean, some people just have consistent live streams 24/7 where they're just talking about different news topics. Like, how can E3 compete with that, especially when they're charging? When you have EA sitting around like, these people are doing it for free, and you guys want to charge us just to talk about stuff that we can talk about at EA Play a few days earlier, and also just post one thing on Twitter, and everyone will be going nuts for it or against it. Again, it's EA, so it could be either way. It's nuts to show, to think about, though, how technology is changing and evolving so rapidly, and how, it's not about, I mean, I guess if you want to call E3 mainstream, not necessarily media, but a mainstream way for different gaming companies to get their news out there, it's just not as necessary anymore. Take it as you will. It definitely is bad for anyone who was able to create content either for their news website or for their YouTube channel, going to E3, paying that type of money to go to E3, or even if they get their ticket comped, a company paying that money for their reporter to go to E3. And now having all these companies pull out, is it? I mentioned earlier as a joke in the opening when I talked about all these different articles that it's kind of a slow and painful death, but it might actually be just that. Where within the next 5 years, will we have an E3 at least the way it is right now? I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying it would be bad if we did, because again, I don't want. I've said this before, time and time again, with any situation, any corporation, anything like that. I don't want people to lose their jobs. Right? Losing your job sucks, but we are in a situation now where things are changing, and it's a lot of money to go to E3. If you don't know, it's a lot of money. So both as a company who creates games and as someone who wants to go and gets a press pass to talk about this stuff, it's a lot of money regardless. So the times, they are changing. So tell me what you think down below. Are you happy with this? Are you sad about this? Do you even watch E3? Do you even follow it? Do you even care anymore? Or do you just follow the different companies' social media accounts to get whatever they say? So tell me what you guys think down below. Would love to hear what you guys have to say about that.